So I'm sorry about the being dark in here. I'm in my garage. I only have one light in here. It's a rented garage. It's part of our apartment, but we're not attached to the apartment. Um, what I brought you today, I wanted to talk about ponchos, specifically wool ponchos. This is one that I cobbled together. I'm gonna test out some different designs, but I've been working with this one and I like it a lot. Um, I put a hood on it. You don't have to put a hood on it. I also put a gusset here to allow it to open more around your neck and head when you put it on, but it still blocks, it kind of bunches and blocks that. So I'm going to put it on. So it's super warm. Goes down just above the knees in the front. I was just working on something, so my bench is a mess. Just below the knees in the back. Just to my wrists. So this is a twin size blanket, 100% wool. And I did a 1 inch hem, but I rolled the end up into the hem, so I really took out 2 inches on each side. And then I also put a pocket right here, so I have a pocket. This is really, really warm. I've been just wearing it around the house and stuff. My kids love it. My daughter likes to get in here with me. We'll sit on my chair, my recliner in the house, and I'll just pop this open and she'll snuggle right in here with me and cover up. She loves it. But ponchos are great. It's a great option for a layer that can go over your plate carrier, over your chest rig, your belt kit, whatever. Just be thrown over when you go stationary for a little while after a movement, and you can stay warm with this. Gives you an extra layer. It doesn't defeat thermal, but you're not trying to defeat the thermal sensor itself. You're trying to defeat the person behind it. So if you can get rid of the shapes of the natural human body, then you can defeat the person behind the thermal. So this goes down low enough that we got rid of that bottom V of the legs, right? It goes up high enough, or it goes wide enough that you've eliminated the top T. So yes, your face is exposed, your hands might be exposed, but if you're stationary with this, you are very likely to defeat the person behind the thermal because you don't look like a human. But this is a great option, and I'll take it off. I'll put it over my belt kit to show you that. This is why there's cloaks also, and I got this idea from 5 Star Alterations. I believe they're somewhere out of the UK. So I didn't want to buy from them because the tariff situation in the US is all fucking weird. People are paying asinine amounts for tariffs through UPS and FedEx because they're doing brokerage fees on top of the tariffs, and they're paying 2 times as much as what the item is worth just for that. So that's stupid. Let's see, take this off. Just the belt, it's not going to want to go over that. So we've got the belt kit. I don't normally wear it with a belt, especially not with a knife on that belt. So we've got our belt kit on. And then throw the poncho over the top. It drapes down over. Everything's all covered up. So you doing a patrol and maybe you want to set up a LPOP, you just pull this guy out, put it over you. You can stay warm. Um, you can still use it, fight with it, right? So I could shoulder a rifle and fight here. I can still access the stuff on the sides. That's why I chose poncho versus a cloak. Cloak is open in the front. That would be better for use with just a chest rig or a plate carrier because all of your mags up here, you can get to them. Poncho, I still have access to all the stuff on the sides because the material naturally just goes around. So if I need to reload, right, I bring it in here, I can grab a mag, come back out, put it in my rifle, and I'm back in the fight. I can also still re-index that mag. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, that's the wrong fucking pouch. See, that's the problem. Re-indexing is going to be an issue. But you can also flip it over the shoulder so you can see what you're doing. Re-indexing a third mag in these spud pouches is a little iffy anyway. That's another thing. You can just throw it over the back. You don't have to wear the hood. You can just throw it over the back, over one of your shoulders, and you can fight like this, right? And your front's open, so if you did have a chest rig or something on, you can get to it just fine here. And then you can just pull it back over when you're done. Straighten it out. So like I said, this was a twin size blanket. I used the whole blanket. I'm 5'7". I guess I cut 6 inches off the front because I centered the head hole, and the front was hanging pretty far down, way far. So I cut 6 inches off of it. In hindsight, I probably would have biased the head hole 6 inches toward the front. That way, I have a little more in the back. Because when I have the belt kit on, it doesn't come down nearly as low. And I would like to be able to have it so that when you sit on something, you're sitting on the blanket. And right now, just barely with the belt kit. So that's not optimal. I should have just biased that whole 6 inches forward. Wool's a great material, especially here in the Pacific Northwest. It's wet all the time here. It doesn't get extremely cold. When it does get cold, it's nice to have something that will insulate you when it's soaking wet too, because there is no staying dry here. So it's easy on and off. You can stow it easily, right? So you can just go like this, and you could stuff this up through some shock cord, right? If I had shock cord on the back of this right now, pull this off, I could just stuff it up through the shock cord. I could even just stuff it up through like this, have it catch the top shock cord about here and hang on the back. That's fine. This is 100% wool. The next one I make is going to be 80% Arc'teryx blanket. Or not Arc'teryx. I don't remember what brand it is. It's right up here in Washington. It's going to be an 80% blanket from them. I'm going to try that out because this shed a lot. I put some brown dye on it to kind of break up the green a little bit. And it's such a dark green that the brown doesn't show up very much. It does on this hood because the hood's from a different blanket. And then I put the hood on back inside out like an idiot. That's my seam. It's supposed to be on the inside, but whatever. The next one is going to be a perfect square, not rectangular like this. And then we'll have a corner in the front, right? So it'll come down to a corner in the front, so you don't have as wide of an area that's trying to get caught up in brush, getting wet, stuff like that. Corner in the back and corners at the arms. And that should give me plenty of coverage still it will allow me to make the hood out of the same blanket, because I'll have about 24 inches of a strip that I can make the hood and pocket out of. And then I'm thinking I'm going to put some elastic on the corners out here so that it stays with your hand. That corner stays with your hand wherever you move it. You can still flip the front around, and that corner will stay with your hand. And then if you wanted to wear it as a cloak, you could get a blanket pin, put the hood on, bring it around you, blanket pin it, and then you can still put your arms through those corners so that when you wrap yourself up like this, you are wrapping the whole thing around you without having to grab onto stuff. Keeps your hands free. I'm gonna try that soon, but I wanted to bring this guy out, show you what I've come up with. When it's wet, it's heavy. It's very heavy. It's heavy when it's dry, but when it's wet, it's super heavy. But it'll still insulate you just the same wet as it will dry, because wool is a hollow fiber and still traps air in the fibers. Just the same as if it were dry. Also, I'm going to work on lighting in here because it's pretty bad, but this is where I'm going to film more videos just because it's not in the house. There's no kids running around. I don't have to wait until everybody's out of the house to make a video. I've been working on cleaning this garage up because it was pretty damn full, and I've thrown away a lot of my stuff. But this is going to be the new spot. Unless we're out in the woods, this will be it. And I don't get a chance to get up in the woods very often because money's been tight lately. So, and also if you're not fit, none of this stuff is going to matter. If you can't move around in the woods with this weight, it doesn't matter if you have all this. It doesn't matter if you go out and spend a bunch of money on a poncho or make your own. It doesn't really matter. If you go out and spend a whole ton of money on pouches for a belt kit, Gucci pouches and stuff, it doesn't really matter if you can't move around in the woods. If you can't move around quietly, and if you can't climb like fast. So fitness is key. I'm working on that. I got a little gut that I've been working on. I'm the heaviest I've ever been, but I was just up in the mountains walking around for all deer season, and I don't know. I don't have a bathroom scale, just a packing scale at work. So I didn't weigh myself before all that. I don't feel any heavier, but I am the heaviest I've ever been, and I need to get rid of some of this. I still move around okay, but if I didn't have this extra probably 10 pounds that I have here, I would be a lot better off. Fitness is king. Also, don't be a consumer. Go your own way. Make the things that you need. I was going through stuff and I just found a whole bunch of... I bought all this Velcro, this adhesive Velcro for different things that I have going on. Because I'm making my stuff. I'm making my own kit, my own gear. I'm not buying everything. I have a whole bunch of homemade stuff, and I'm going to have a whole bunch more. Making it yourself. If you learn how to sew, you can repair your own stuff. You can make your own stuff. You can save yourself a lot of money. You can make things the way that you want them, not just the way that somebody else thinks works best. So, with that, stay safe, get fit, and rock on. You wear wool. Oh, also, like, subscribe, put a comment. It helps out, pushes my videos out. I'm not getting very far reach anymore. I was doing okay. I had a few hundred views on a couple videos, and now I'm down in the maybe double digits if I'm lucky. So like, comment, subscribe, turn on the little bell, the notifications for when I post. I try to post weekly. It doesn't always work out that way. But I'm going to try to put out as much content as I can on things that I've learned in the woods here in the Pacific Northwest. And it can get pretty rough here as far as being wet constantly. Uh, and being wet will kill you if you don't know what you're doing. So, yeah, like, subscribe, comment. Thanks, guys.